Hello, my name is Delina Rix. Thank you so much for your time today. During this presentation, I will discuss the visual system. Here is an overview of my presentation, where I will discuss the visual system, its structure and function, and then I will also talk about the improvement it has on the workplace and personal life and society. The visual system is a part of the nervous system which allows us to see and occurs through the eyes. The eyes are responsible for translating light into image signals for the brain to interpret and process. What is fascinating about this process is that this system reconstructs a 3D world into a 2D projection. The eyes are located in the orbits of the skull and are protected by fat and bone. The eyes are comprised of the sclera, cornea, pupil, iris, retina, lens, and optical nerve. The visual system is complex, and here are diagrams of the structure. Please view the diagrams as I explain each area. The structure of the eyes are comprised of, again, the sclera, cornea, pupil, iris, retina, lens, and optical nerve. The white part of the eye is the sclera and protects the interior structures and surrounds the cornea, pupil, and iris. The cornea allows light into the eye and directs it to the pupil. The pupil is the colored disc of the iris. The iris is the color of the eye and constricts or dilates to adjust the light that enters the pupil onto the lens. The lens focuses the image onto the retina. The retina is a soft membrane of nerve tissue containing photoreceptor or visual receptor cells. These cells translate the light into signals for the brain to process. There are two kinds of visual receptors, rods and cones, named of course after their shape. There are about 5 million cone cells, and they are responsible for detail and color information. There are 120 million rod cells responsible for peripheral vision and movement. The optical nerve takes these signals from the eye to the brain. Visual perception involves a number of functions: processing color, shape, motion, and locating objects in a 3D space. The neural pathway is called the retinofocal projection and includes the optical nerve, optic tract, and the optic nerve carries visual information from the retina to the thalamus, and then visual information goes from the thalamus to the optical lobe. The brain interprets the signals into visual images. Specifically, the visual cortex is the region called the optical lobe which interprets the visual image, as seen in diagram. The visual system is how we learn, communicate, and develop our personal perspectives of ourselves and others and the world. The visual system is one of the main components that allows the learning process to occur, especially with visual learners. This system also engages in other sensory and motor systems. We use our eyes to communicate and express emotion. An example of that is crying. Seeing allows an individual to form their perspective as they view the world from their lens, encouraging diversity. An example of this is seeing colors can change our mood. I would also like to share with you Stevie Wonder's quote, "You don't have to have sight to have a vision." Let's have some fun with our eyes. Is your visual system playing tricks on you? Stare at the black ink blot in the middle. Do you see movement in this image? Its apparent motion in the image is an optical illusion. Many theories attempt to explain this phenomena. Some scientists suggest that the small, almost imperceptible movements that our eyes make that are normally smoothed out by the brain to give us a single picture are responsible for perceiving motion when there is none. Another theory is the image sends so many pieces of information to our retina that there is an overload. The simultaneous messages cause confusion in our visual cortex. Can you see the motion? So today we discussed the visual system. We covered the structure and function of the system, as well as described how sight improves the workplace, personal life, and society. I appreciate you for your time, and I hope you enjoyed my presentation and learned something about our visual system.